everyone. My name is Taylor Brookins. I'm a member of the South Jersey Alumnae chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Today we're going to be reading a book called Freedom on the Menu, The Greensboro Sit-Ins by Carole Weatherford, paintings by Jerome Larrigay. Just about every week, Mama and I went shopping downtown. I loved having her all to myself for the afternoon. Whenever it was hot or we got tired, we'd head over to the snack bar in the 5 and dime store. We'd stand as we sipped our Cokes because we weren't allowed to sit at the lunch counter. Once I watched a girl swivel a stool as she spooned a banana split. In the empty seat beside her was a purse almost exactly like mine. "Can I have a banana split?" I begged Mama. "Not here, Connie," said Mama. "I'll fix you one at home." "Won't be the same," I grumbled. All over town, signs told Mama and me where we could go and not go. Signs on water fountains, swimming pools, movie theaters, and even bathrooms. Everybody I knew obeyed the signs, except my great auntie Gertie from New York. Once she visited us, she drank from a whites-only fountain and said really loud, "I've never heard of a colored water fountain. Have you, Connie?" Then she lifted me up so I could take a sip. I looked up from the fountain. "Y'all know better than that," a man scolded. I started to say, "Sorry, mister," but Aunt Gertie just huffed, "I'm too old for these silly rules." It was a real hot day, but the man walked away without taking a drink. There weren't any signs up in the 5 and dime, but we still knew how it was. Most people didn't expect change anytime soon, but Daddy thought different. "Dr. King's coming to town," he told us one morning. "Who's sick?" I asked. "He's not that kind of doctor, Connie," Daddy laughed. "He's a minister who's working to make things better for us," said Daddy. "So we can go anywhere we please," said Mama. "Like the lunch counter?" I asked. "Yup," said Daddy, "and other places too." Later that week, our whole family went to hear Dr. King preach at the college chapel. I didn't really understand all of his speech, but I liked his booming voice. It sounded as if he believed God was on our side. Every few minutes, Mama said, "Amen," and when Dr. King sat down, everyone stood and clapped for a very long time. Soon after that, my brother and sister joined the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Everyone called it the NAACP. They let me tag along as they went door to door, helping people to sign up to vote. "I've never voted in my life," said a white-haired lady leaning on a cane. "Will I get to vote for the president?" "Yes, ma'am," I said. "My brother wants to be president when he's all the way grown up." "Tell him he's got my vote," she chuckled, "and to hold on to those big dreams," she said, handing me over her voter registration form. "Yes, ma'am, I'll tell him. I promised, thinking about my own dreams too. Times are changing," she said, waving as I left. The one day Mama and I went shopping downtown, we snapped at the snack bar, just like always. I tugged at Mama's sleeve. "Look over there, the lunch counter. We know those boys." There sat four of my brother's friends from A&T College. "Do they know they're in the wrong place?" I whispered. "Some rules have to be broken," Mama whispered. I heard one of them order coffee and a donut, please. "I'm sorry, we can't serve your kind," said the blonde-haired waitress, wringing her hands. The boys didn't budge. "Don't y'all understand English?" a kitchen worker said. "Go on over to the snack bar," she hissed. "Stop making trouble here." The manager tapped his foot and jutted out his chin. "They can sit there forever for all I care," he said, storming out of the store. An old white lady came up to the boys. "I'm so proud of you," she said, as a bell so everyone could hear. "I wish someone had done this sooner." The waitress kept wiping and re-wiping the counters, refilling salt and pepper shakers, sugar pourers, and napkin holders. Suddenly, the manager came back with a tall policeman. "Let's go, Connie," said Mama. The manager shooed us right now, right out of the store, and then put a closed sign in the window. I couldn't wait to tell my brother. "Why do your friends do that?" I asked. "If we can spend money at a store," said brother, "it's only fair that we should be able to eat at the store's lunch counter." "I guess so," I said. "Think it'll work?" "Sometimes it's important just to try," said Daddy, rubbing his chin. The next day, Daddy showed me the newspaper. The headline said, "Negro students stand up by sitting down." "They sat 4 hours," said Daddy, peering over the newspaper. "I'd be too hungry to wait that long," I said. "Connie, they didn't really want food," said Daddy. "They wanted to be allowed to get it, same as if they were white, to be treated fairly." By Friday, we heard on the news how hundreds more had joined in the sit-ins. "The protests are growing," I told Daddy. "I'm joining the sit-ins," brother said, bursting into the room. "And I'm going to picket downtown," said sister. "I want to go too," I said. "I'm plenty big enough to hold a sign, and I know I can sit." "It's good that you want to help," said Daddy. "But Connie, you're still too young for these things." "I never get to do anything important," I pouted. "You can help us make the picket signs," said sister. "That's very important." The next morning, I handed sister my little flag for her to carry. "We'll tell you everything when we get home," brother promised. Turns out, I saw the protest on the TV. Hundreds of people walked up and down the sidewalks in front of stores, restaurants, and movie theaters. I saw my own sister carrying a picket sign, and there, in the back of my brother's head at the lunch counter. My own brother. "I'm so proud of them," said Daddy. "Me too," I said. "I just pray there's no trouble," Mama fretted. After a while, I watched the news on TV almost as much as Mama and Daddy. One night, I saw a report on the sit-ins. "That doesn't look like downtown," I said. "Connie, the sit-ins have spread all over the South," said Daddy. Just then, the phone rang. I answered it. "Daddy, it's sister. She got arrested at the lunch counter. She's in jail." Sister, who always got A's in school, who hardly ever got in trouble, who was what Mama called mule stubborn. Daddy raced to the police station, but sister wouldn't let him get her out of jail. He told me how the students kept chanting, "Jail, not bail. Jail, not bail." "We can't just leave sister here with the bad guys," I pleaded. "She's made up her mind, Connie," said Mama, wiping a tear. "She wants to stay with the other students." In a few days, sister came home. "Promise me you'll stop picketing," I begged. "I can't do that," she said, hugging me tight. Now, instead of shopping downtown, we had to order from the Sears catalog. Mama and I leafed through the big, thick catalog together, and she even let me help pick things out, but we both knew it wasn't the same. "How long before the sit-ins are over, Mama?" I asked. "Till folks get what they want," said Mama. That summer, Mama, Daddy, and I finally went downtown. When we passed Woolworths, I heard someone shout, "They're serving them!" Daddy stopped so fast the brakes screeched, and Mama and I jolted forward. We parked and ran to that lunch counter. There sat the woman who worked in the restaurant's kitchen. They were all dressed up fancy and eating egg salad. I can't even stand the smell of egg salad, but I stood and watched them eat every bite. "Looks pretty good," I said. Daddy and I shared big grins. The next day, brother, sister, and I made a special trip downtown. Brother wore a suit and tie. We girls wore hats and white gloves at the lunch counter. I climbed up on a stool and sat next to them. "We'll have 3 hot dogs, 3 french fries, 2 coffees, 1 Coke, and 1 banana split, please," I told the blonde-haired waitress. Sister and brother sipped coffee, and I twisted on my stool while we waited for our meals. Our food soon arrived. As I ate, The waitress popped a cherry on a mound of whipped cream. She still looked nervous, but she smiled. It was the best banana split I've ever had. That concludes Freedom at the Menu, the Greenboro Sit-ins.